Plutonia might be the best official iWAD out of them all, and it was made by college kids. Dario and Milo Casali were only in college and high school respectively, and they churned out a great product with Plutonia. There's been a theory or observation about Plutonia's design choices over the years, with how each map was inspired by levels from Doom 1 and Doom 2. The first level that I can really see some parallels in is with map 4, Caged. This map seems very similar to the abandoned mines from Doom 2, with the narrow hallways and everything. Speaking of which, map 7, Courtyard, is pretty much the same as Dead Simple from Doom 2. To be fair, there are lots of Dead Simple clones in Megawads nowadays. I might even do a separate video about why there's so many map 7s that use the Dead Simple template, but that's for another time. Map 18, Neurosphere, shares some of the same design choices as Map 14, the Inmost Ends. The player travels from building to building in a similar fashion, and the entire construction of the level is basically identical. I prefer Plutonia Map 18's blood floor and cream brick textures, but that's just me. Map 21, Slayer, is basically a recreation of Map 11, Circle of Death, and the resemblance is pretty difficult to ignore with all of these levels. There are two maps in Plutonia that give off map 29, the Living End vibes, and those are map 24, the Final Frontier, and map 27, Antichrist. Was the Casali brothers intentionally paying homage to these Doom 2 levels, or are these just sheer coincidences? Well, both answers are valid. Kind of. The truth rests in this interview clip with Dario Casali.
So, the question I wanted to ask you is about Go To It, because that's based on, the level design is based on Entryway.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it true that there was someone made an observation that almost all the levels in Plutonia are inspired by some level from Doom 1 or Doom 2? Is that true?
No, that's not true. We really like the music from. I think all of the music was taken from Doom 1.
Yeah.
So that's true.
But there's a couple levels, for example. There was one that's looks a lot like Circle of Death. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Realm or something.
Realm, or maybe a Courtyard. Well,
yeah.
I mean, the Courtyard has kind of a similar idea where you're in one space and you access different parts of it at different times. But I don't think. I mean, obviously we played their stuff a lot, so we're probably indirectly inspired by them.
Yeah.
But we tried really hard to create brand like really unfamiliar stuff as much as we could.
There might have been levels that Dario or Milo designed that were inspired by Doom 2 maps, and there are also some that could just be coincidences. The details are unclear, and that's perfectly understandable considering that it was over 20 years ago. However, at least there is one level that we know for certain is directly based on a map from Doom 2. Go To It is supposed to be obviously an homage to Doom 2 Entryway, so at least we have some closure with that. Unfortunately, we don't know which of these other maps were inspired by Doom 2's levels or not. Dario is right about one thing though, Plutonia's levels are very distinct and unique for the most part. Before we close out the video, there is one thing I also want to clarify. In my TNT Evilution video about the missing key in map 31, I accidentally gave off the impression that they forgot about it entirely. This was sort of incorrect on my part, since the key was tagged as multiplayer only and they forgot to add or flag it as a single player item as well. Everything else about the video is all correct with the story about id Software and Team TNT, and I only wanted to clarify that it was tagged as multiplayer only and it was technically there in the WAD file, just not in single player. By the way, I just love how in a video where I talk about a forgotten key in map 31, I forgot a critical piece of information about it. I'm basically the TNT Evilution of YouTube. That being said, I thank you for watching.